What is up, everyone? Thank you for clicking on this podcast. It is Googan Week. We're down here in Florida. We got this fabulous panel of gentlemen. I'm the new guy, the guy with the ugly mustache. I'm Chris Aldain. You guys know the rest of these guys, of course. We're sitting here telling stories. I'm the new guy. I mean, I've been hanging out with these guys for like 3 days. Rob, I've been hanging out with you for a couple years now. Mike, I fished with you back in 2016. Awesome group of fishermen. We're sitting here telling stories. Like, this is such a tight-knit group of dudes and tight-knit group of personalities. I want to know more about these guys. Like, before the camera started rolling, you know, all the off-camera shenanigans. I want to hear about these stories, dude. I know Rob's got a bunch of them, and he's just, like, boiling trying to get these stories out. But,
I mean, I will say before we get started, I hope that, you know, eventually you be part of some of these stories. I know you heard a little bit before we started rolling, and I don't know what
I'm a little scared,
what you're about, but I mean,
there's some on you.
I totally thought these guys were G-rated. They're totally R-rated fellas, man, and I love it. They're humans,
PG,
you know?
bro. PG.
I do appreciate the fact that you thought we were G-rated.
Yeah. Well, we've done a pretty good job of cleaning up our image over the last couple of years. Well, I guess mainly the other guys, not essentially me. But
I will say we are G-rated, but we like to have fun. I think that's just period.
no, I mean, I like to.
Have to.
Well, it's just raw and real. It's just raw and real.
Yeah,
It's here,
it is what
and
it
you've
is.
clicked on it.
So-
So here we go.
Rackley is actually a bit more non-G rated than you would ever think. So he's done more of the more wild things of the group than you would actually.
Come on, get the hell out.
You have.
dude.
He has done some
You're
wild.
put on the spot for
Well, I'm just being honest. Like, everybody looks at him, he's like, "Oh, look, it's father
He's
time.
chill. He's
People
super
say
chill.
that.
It's father
He's super
time."
chill.
Yeah, they look at you. They're like, "Look, it's dad."
Well, dads like to have fun.
The kids don't know that though. Well, before my dad died, he told me a bunch of wild. He used to smuggle from Miami to New
Wow.
York. Yeah.
Wow.
My dad was telling me because he used to work for an airline, so he used to he told me he was a mule.
What was it?
Back in the
What was
80s.
he? Wow, that was
Yeah.
big though back
Yeah,
then.
back
Miami,
then.
yeah, that Miami route. Mhm.
Yeah,
Like,
back he was
I feel like
literally
if you weren't doing that, you were just not like cool.
Doing
it was
anything.
kind of crazy.
right.
Like, literally before he died, like a week before he died, we were literally fishing for trout on that lake I took you up in Washington.
Wow.
And he told me that.
Up in
Up in the
north-
in the
I
in
know
the
you're
mountains.
talking. Rattlesnake.
Yeah, rattlesnake. Yeah.
Yep.
Which
That's
I
a
got.
lot.
That's a
Remember
wild
I don't know.
father-son moment right there.
Yeah, he was. I think he knew he was dying. He told me a lot of wild. So
cool.
anyway,
Wow.
there's got to. So Chris, we're gonna kick it off. I want you to tell us a story that we don't know about
Yes.
you.
Before
Can we-
we
can we-
divulge and
Yeah,
tell you
yeah,
our
yeah.
deepest, darkest
Yeah, yeah.
secrets.
Are we
Do you guys
going-
like
is this
action?
the-
Like
is this the
action
toilet paper
stories?
episode?
Okay. You brought one up earlier. So, dude, I'm I'm always wanted to be a pro bass fisherman. You know, here I am in my late 30s now. Been doing this pro bassing thing for 10 years. Hooked up with you guys, hanging out, having a good time. But before I became a professional touring bass fisherman, I was just an aspiring young angler out in California. Grew up in a city, San Jose, California. I don't know if you guys have ever been out that way, but from San Jose to San Francisco, it's just a huge metro area. And you guys are familiar with the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I think the Dallas-Fort Worth area is like the second or third largest metro in the U.S., and I think the San Francisco Bay Area is like the fourth or fifth largest. So it's just a concrete jungle, and here I am driving a 2005 Ford F-250 with a 08 Ranger bass boat. I'm like, early 20s or so. I won this boat in a tournament, and all I wanted to do was fish. I made money to go fishing, and, I just wanted to be on an Elite Series tour, and, it takes steps to get to, that tour. So all I wanted to do was practice. Living in San Jose, California, I drive 4 hours north to Clear Lake. Everyone knows and heard of Clear Lake in Northern California. It's known for giant bass, big swim baits, big glide baits. I was all about it. I remember one time, I got off work on a Friday afternoon, just like you guys work, and, it's great, it's the weekend, let's go up and go fishing. And I was rolling solo. I like to learn a lot by myself, just like you guys, getting out on the water, enjoying the outdoors, catching big fish and taking photos of them. I remember fishing all weekend long, and I was returning home, had a great weekend up on Clear Lake. It was about a 3.5 hour drive south home through this concrete jungle on a Sunday afternoon. So luckily the traffic wasn't so heavy. I was driving home like at 9 or 10 p.m. at night, and in this, '06 F-250 diesel, I was just hauling down. And, for those of you watching, if you live anywhere near a big city, like there's like these overpasses and on-ramps. And I've been towing with this particular rig for a couple years. I remember driving on this on-ramp. It was the 280 to 101 on-ramp. I remember getting off this 280 off-ramp and onto 101. I'm doing 65, 70 miles an hour. And I hit this bump. And when I hit this bump, and if you know anything about trailers and towing, anything like that, the 2-inch ball on the back of my F-250, the trailer tongue, the pin was in it, but the actual trailer tongue pulled the ball out of the socket at 65 miles an hour. And here's my trailer ball in the trailer and jumps off, and it just yanks my truck back, and it like yanks the rear end of my truck back. And the two safety cables that are supposed to be safety cables snapped like it was 6-pound test on a 10-pound bass. Just pop.
What?
And I see this thing, and like the rear end of this 3/4 ton truck goes, and I look back, dude, and this full-on 20-foot bass boat is like doing this behind me at 65 miles an hour. On 20-foot bass boat is like doing this behind me at 65 miles an hour, hopping on this freeway. And like Dallas-Fort Worth, it's like 5 lanes wide, just like in California, 5 lanes wide. This brand new Ranger bass boat like comes off the back of my truck and like shoots 5 lanes over, hits the center median. The trailer stays. The boat keeps going onto oncoming traffic. So here's my boat.
The boat came off the trailer?
Dude, a 2009 Ranger with a 225 on it hits the freaking median, keeps going. Trailer stays. My truck's still going. I'm like watching this. My boat launches in the number 2 lane and just sits there, dude. Like I panic so hard. I like go to the next on ramp, dude. There's no boat behind me. I'm like, oh my god. I don't even call 911. I panic so hard. I call my best friend. He worked at Google at the time. My best buddy Steve. Call him up, dude. I don't know what just happened, dude. My boat's gone. I don't know what to do. He's just like, calm down, dude. Call 911. Called California Highway Patrol. They helped me out. Blocked the whole freeway. You just know the people in traffic in California were like, just dropped his boat in the middle of the 101 highway, and yep, that was me. I took photos of it and everything,
but
dude.
no one got hurt.
Luckily, no one got hurt. Like I said, it was a Sunday evening. It was like 9:30 p.m.
Damn. Wow.
Dude, 10 lanes of 101 highway. So the northbound lane was like there was no one there, luckily, but the southbound lane there was like a couple cars that had to swerve at my boat. Could you imagine driving along at 70 miles an hour? A glitter blue, Ranger 520 flying at you with. And back then it was 1 power pole. I had 1 power pole on it. That's gnarly, dude. Like that is a gnarly story. It scared the crap out of me. Luckily, no one got hurt because some lawyer would have been up my butt about a 2-inch ball, the nut. Right. So what happened was a week before, and don't ever do this if you're towing a boat. A week before, I was just walking around my hitch, and I just noticed there was a bunch of rust on the 2-inch ball and the nut that holds it. There was a lock washer on it, but there was a bunch of rust there. And I was just like, man, that rust looks ugly. And I just grabbed some WD-40 and just, some like liquid wrench, and like greased it all up. And I guess the vibration and the lube just, it just like undid that nut on that 2-inch ball, and it just kept on coming off and coming off and coming off.
God.
And when I hit that bump on that 380 to 101 overpass, it just went.
Was the boat just or what?
Oh, it was totaled. completely totaled.
Do you have the,
Cashed out. It cashed
fiberglass
it out.
on
Yeah, at
asphalt,
the time.
yeah.
It was
Do you have
a-
the pictures? Can we see those?
they're in my phone here, way back
That's
there. I
from
think
a
it's
while ago, 520.
every now and then I'll post it and say, "Remember, kids, make sure you don't do this." You know,
Dude,
it's
that is
that was super
scary.
scary, dude. Yeah, super scary. And in my career, over 10 years doing this professionally, and about 15, 16 years just fishing with a bass boat, I've totaled 2 boats in my life, and that was one of them. The other one, I was
was
on
it? I was
Lake
gonna say,
Mead.
wait, what?
Yeah, on Lake Mead in 5 to 6 foot waves, just sending it. I was like 19 years old, just
Mead is
sending it.
scary.
Yeah, oh, it is, dude.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling the hull of my boat, and it was a 19-foot Triton bass boat. I remember just the fiberglass just like flexing every
Little
time I'd hit a
wobbling.
wave, just flex. Trolling motors all loose. There's like fiberglass powder everywhere. Yeah, so I total boats.
Well,
That's what I did.
Wow. So
yeah.
so you weren't able to come in at that? tournament?
No, I did come in, but I could feel like the whole boat coming loose. Like if you own a fiberglass boat, you know they feel rock solid, and everything just felt super loose. The motor was like chattering, the trolling motor was chattering, and when I came in, I got off, or I was like putting my boat on the trailer, and some dude's off to my right. He goes, "What happened to the side of your boat?" There was like 4 feet of fiberglass missing off of it, and you know, like hash browns, browns look like just a bunch of strands.
Yeah.
That's what
Holy
it was like. Exposed fiberglass like all over the side of my boat, and what happened was like the stringers in it, which is like the backbone of a bass boat, completely cracked and broke because of these 4-foot waves, and I was just sending it. When you got to catch fish, you got to catch fish. You know they're way up the lake, and there's 4 and 5 footers, and you got to send it, dude. You got to
That's
absolutely
the
send
difference
it.
between you and
Yeah.
I think 99% of the rest.
Yeah, man. No, it's
everyone.
it's pretty intense. This professional bass fishing thing, it's a lot of fun. It's super intense, but I'm just like the rest of these guys on this panel. Like, I just want to catch a bass, dude. Whether it's in a pond or for a $3,000 prize or $100,000
Jackpot.
prize. Like
Just go.
it's fun, man.
I've got kind of a similar story, and Wesley Davis was a part of this one right here. He was there for this. I'll make this one
he's
quick.
shaking his head.
So, certain physics when it comes to towing things, right? Put the heaviest front.
Sure. Yep.
And okay, right. Everyone gets that. Well, myself, and our latent Googan buddy Perrick, did not know that that's how physics work. Especially when towing physics work. So, I'm not at the time. I wasn't very familiar with towing. I think I had I had a car. It was like a old Highlander, so I didn't tow boats. This is before I fished out of boats. But Perrick had a
Triton.
TR20
Yeah.
Triton, the classic edition. Real nice boat. It was
Yeah.
like 203.
Oh yeah.
Had a 225 or 200 Mercury Optimax, and
Giant old thing.
we were going on
Giant,
our,
right?
our first ever big like series trip. It was Never Stop Tour, and those same guys we were talking about earlier, Dynamic. They gave us a Tacoma, like a TRD, for this trip. And so we were, the whole deal was we're going to have this TRD, and then we're going to get paid by Carhartt and whatever. So we got like, full disclosure, I think at the time we got $3,000 a piece. For this
Sure. Yeah.
And we're like,
styling,
wow,
dude.
let's go.
Yeah.
$3,000 for basically like working our absolute dicks off. So that was kind of the deal. And then he said, "Hey, here's this TRD Tacoma, and then here's also like this kind of mini, it was a really tiny camper. It wasn't a camper. It was like a 6x6. Like it had like a shower and a grill, and like
Oh, wow.
you couldn't sleep out of it, but like you could kind of camp out of it, And we're like, this thing's kind of sick. Let's take it. And what's funny is it was already hooked up to the Tacoma, but then it had an option for a hitch on the back too. And I'm like,
Tweener.
and I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Perry and I were like, we could do all three.
Oh my god.
We got this. Mind you, we're going up to Canada.
Oh.
It's like in Illinois. We're in Chicago, Illinois, and I was like, let's do this. And Perry's like, I was like, have you ever done like this? Have you ever done like a locomotive rig? And he's like, no, but I think it's fine. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's fine. So we had, like what is basically like a 600-pound piece of equipment attached to, mind you, a V6 Tacoma, like the thing. I mean, poor
motor.
whoever owns that car now.
Short
Bless
wheelbase
their
too.
soul.
Super short wheelbase Tacoma.
Oh yeah,
just
not even good for you pulling that boat,
Yeah.
let alone whatever was in between. So let me just go on view real quick. Now that I've done that, so we actually we actually ended up getting it all hooked up. We put the 2-inch ball on the Triton in between this, and then so
The locomotive.
yeah, so we had to make a quick stop. We're like, let's go to Home Depot real quick, and we drove there. I'm like, yeah, this is nice. This is good. No, we got this. We got up to like 30, 40 miles per hour. I'm like, this is no problem. And I was like, it's pulling pretty good. Get to Home Depot, get our. I don't even know what we were getting, like propane for a heater or something. I don't remember. And then we're heading back to his house before we're about to leave on this big trip. And I'm like, why don't you just gun it just to make sure like we're good? Like just get up to like 60.
It.
Yeah. And mind you, this is like a 30-mile-per-hour road. So like So first of all, we're speeding. We're going to the speed limit, and we're doing this as a test.
Triple, yeah.
And Wes might have been in the front seat. I was in the back seat. Oh yeah, and this is the first time. By the way, this is literally the first time.
Oh, beautiful.
We had ever interacted or met Wes, and it's a miracle he's even here still today. But Beric's like, no, all right, and he goes, like just red lines the Tacoma, and it gets up to 60, and all of a sudden, as you would expect, you get
Speed
that
wobbles.
swerve. Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
dude.
and you see, and the whole truck,
Oh, no.
because the boat's heavier than the truck practically. So then we feel the truck go like this,
Oh,
and the boat it's a dual axle, so the boat goes.
Oh yeah.
And it's going 3 lanes this
Yes,
way, 3 lanes
dude.
that way.
You can't hit the brakes.
And this is the quote that I will never forget. We're all freaking out, and Wes just says, "Ride it out, man. Ride it out." I'm
You
like,
have to.
"Oh
You
my God, Perrick!"
Yeah.
And Perrick's like, "I'm slowing down. It's still doing it."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Slam on the. I can't slam on that brake."
can't.
I'm like, "Speed up."
Can't.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then Wes is like, "Just
Ride
ride
it out.
it
You
out,
gotta
man.
cruise it
Just
out.
ride it out."
You have to, yeah.
So
that's
anytime
awesome.
anything goes bad, I think the motto should just be ride it out.
Ride it out. Yeah.
And we left it there. We just took the
Nice.
truck and the boat.
There's no stopping that speed wobble, dude.
It's
Yeah,
crazy,
it
man.
is.
It's like
Yeah.
riding a bull. It's
Yeah.
like holy,
Yeah.
everything's going like boom, boom, boom. But yeah, anyway, there you go. So who's next?
I have a similar one to that, like a on-road incident. Back when I had my little John boat, the Alumacraft Bandit, a little 18-footer, and I
I remember this.
I had replaced the deck, the front deck and the back deck. It was from the 80s, so it kind of rotted out a little bit. So, as a young man, just trying to get his rig ready, I did some plywood and, probably didn't use the proper screws to put the thing in. I think I used some wood screws or something like that, and an aluminum boat. And me and my dad were we were at some far east lake. It could have been like Rayburn or something like that. It was far out there. And we were on the highway coming back, and I just kind of happened to be like staring out the window, looking in the side mirror, and all of a sudden I just saw the entire back deck fly off.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, and it was like that old school,
Yeah.
like rough carpet, like blue rough plasticky carpet,
Like the
with,
fake grass. Like the
yes,
fake grass.
it looked like fake grass.
Yeah.
And there was, a back seat, like a, Bill Dance seat in the back, and the whole thing flipped up, and it actually hit a car behind us. It was like a nice family. so, here we were, no deck. I had to get out.
Did you just keep driving, or?
At that point, we just had to throw it on the side of the road and just keep going.
But did they stop?
Yeah,
with you all?
we stopped. We exchanged info and everything.
Wow.
And you were like, you were just like, hey, listen, I'm from ETX.
It was like
You guys
it was some
listen, they
ET
make-
stuff.
Some ET antics.
My bad.
Speaking that flies off.
Yeah.
Remember the one time you told me just strap the canoe down or the kayak down. Remember that?
Did you lose one? Kayak?
Me, did I lose one?
Nice,
we were on.
dude.
We were on.
820, I think, east or something.
Oh wow.
No, better.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
we I think we're on 35 west.
Yeah, we were 35 west. is
Oh
what we were.
yeah.
And
yeah.
this one.
I remember that.
It
Traffic.
was him and Hector, and
I was
they pulled up
behind
to my
him.
house, and I woke up late, and he's like, "Let's just go. We gotta go fishing." And I'm like, "All right, fine." And he's like, He's like, because we had Perrick's old, just an aluminum boat, and I was gonna bring my kayak, and I put the kayak in the boat, and I'm like strapping it down, trying to make sure it's fine. He's like, "It's fine, it's fine." I'm like, "Dude, it's not fine." So I put literally one single winch strap
Oh,
on the
beautiful.
thing in a boat.
Yeah.
whatever. Was I driving?
I
was driving like Flair's truck or something like that.
You were driving.
I was pulling.
I was behind you.
No, you guys were in the car with me.
Oh,
you guys were all in the car with me. So I
That's
think I think I
right.
borrowed Flair's truck. So I borrowed Flair's
Yeah, we
truck
had
and I was
Flair's
towing
truck.
Peric's boat.
Yeah.
This is how it goes with
Mix
Googan.
up.
Flair's truck, Peric's
Yeah,
boat,
that's right.
my
Smash.
kayak, and so we get down I-35 and I'm ripping down 80 because
watched
I want to
it
get
fly
to
out
this
the
spot
back,
real quick,
yeah.
and it was almost like I didn't look in the rearview mirror at all, and then as soon as I do, I just see the kayak, this 12-foot kayak, go 5 feet in the air over the outboard, and this Tahoe goes
Oh no!
behind us, and I'm like, I went, I didn't say anything. I said, oh. I went white in the face. I remember this. And then Rob's like, oh no.
Oh no!
And I was like, I was
granted.
so mad because I was like, I told you it wasn't strapped down.
This is at like 7 in the morning.
So
Rush
then we
hour
go the
traffic.
opposite,
Oh, dude, that's bad.
we go opposite end of the traffic. Yeah, there was 1,000 cars on 35
Oh, that's
West.
bad.
And then we go opposite end of the traffic into the median.
Yeah, we had to
and
climb
we
the
go
median.
we go pick it up, and there's no seat.
There's no seat.
There's no,
Oh,
all the
dude.
accessories
All
that I
the
had installed
accessories
were
were
gone.
gone.
It was just a
You
bare.
total the kayak.
Dude, that was
Yeah, they hold
bad.
together?
No, oh no.
Oh, crap.
No. The kayak was fine, but I mean the it was like the
Accessories
seat as
were
if it
gone.
like evaporated.
I know
Yeah.
exactly. We were going to the place where I got my boat actually stuck wedged between 2 trees. That's the lake we ended
Yeah.
up going to.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find
Oh.
a non-existent boat ramp one time. I had my 20-foot skeeter. I don't know what I
Can't
was
believe-
doing.
I went there after you, and I'm like, how
Yeah,
did
same.
you even
Why
do
did
that?
I do
Same.
that? I was trying to go to a non-existent boat ramp. I don't know what. I was looking at Google Earth thinking, yeah, there's got to be one down over here. There's a house down over there. No, that wasn't the case. I was driving through. I was like, man, these trees are getting kind of close. I take a left, and my boat gets wedged between 2 pine trees. And when I mean wedged, I was out there for 6 hours, no service. I had to walk like 3 miles up this hill. You remember the hill?
Dude, that's rad.
I walked-
Snake country
Gross.
too.
It's gross.
I walked way up this hill in my boat. I sat out there. I mean, it's just on YouTube. But people don't realize how far I had walked.
Yeah, I remember you posted on Instagram, and like your boat is at a. Your boat is like basically perpendicular with your
It
truck.
looked like this.
Like it was like I was just like.
Jeez.
I had to go get a f***ing dude with a bulldozer
Yeah.
to come to. He drove all the way down the.
You
push
worked on the
trees over.
property, just.
Yeah, they had one on the property. Oh my god,
Uh,
that was my
Mike.
big. Fuck.
Yes.
Always look before you leap.
Yeah,
what do you got?
it's true.
Well, I don't got any boats, that's for sure.
Yeah, but name us or give us an example in which you just f***ed up.
Car accidents?
let's
Any
see.
car accidents?
Car accidents. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I got some car accidents, but I mean that story is like, it wasn't my fault. It's like
No,
not that
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's tell a story that's a little bit more interesting.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So, as YouTubers, we fish many different spots, and for the most part, every state I've gone to, I've really had no issues. I don't know if you guys have any issues fishing other states.
Yeah, all
Everything-
the time. Like literally.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he just get in
Yeah,
trouble
once in a while, you
yesterday?
gotta check the regulations.
More so, I'm talking about the anglers welcoming or not welcoming you to these spots, is what I'm referring to.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So this one time, I go with a small YouTuber who knows North New Jersey, very, very well.
Who is this, or do you know?
I've
what it is?
recently heard the story.
The
It is
Skylife.
intense.
The Skylife.
I've not heard of him.
No.
Okay. Have
Okay.
you heard of that, Rackley? This guy, the Skylife.
No,
I don't
Okay.
really watch fishing.
but I know where you're going here, and this is an odd one.
Okay, yeah, this is a bit of an odd one, we could say. So I actually grew up near South Jersey. I went to college in Philadelphia. I used to fish South Jersey all the time. It was great. Great fishing. Fishing Mike Iaconelli. Everyone was friendly. But this one time I go with the Skylife, and this was last year, I believe.
Hold on. So you're fishing with this guy?
The Skylife
Okay,
in North
okay,
Jersey.
okay.
Yeah. In North Jersey, we go to fish a reservoir, and we encounter some guys who were not very friendly, and they were talking to us. They weren't like being too upfront while we were there. They were being mostly okay. But once we left, Sky received some very interesting messages from these guys. We made a couple remarks on camera talking about the native people of North Jersey. Have you ever heard of those people? The natives.
I have not.
the people that are like New Jersey, like I'm from.
Yeah, right. What's it to you, bud?
No, he's
Yeah.
talking
That
about
guy.
Not
Oh.
quite. It's native to North Jersey.
Huh.
Anyways, after we posted the videos, these guys were not very happy that we fished this particular reservoir, and they messaged Sky and basically said if we ever showed up fishing that reservoir again, we would not be very pleased with the outcome. Essentially, some very threatening type words. But then
Like
after
what? Go into detail. What do they say?
they said that they have killed people before, and they said we were gonna get hurt if we were gonna fish around that area again. And him and his boys were out looking for me, and he proceeded to send about 50 mugshots of guys that looked like that were these native North Jersey guys, very tough
Really?
looking. I think I showed the pictures
long ago
directly.
was this?
Wow.
This was about a year ago.
You're
Okay,
terri-
they
you were
may still be-
terrified,
Still
weren't
be
you?
out here looking for you.
Yeah,
watching
exactly.
this right
Well,
now.
Yes. Yeah.
I actually wasn't too terrified. I mean, if I was in North Jersey fishing that reservoir, I'd be pretty terrified. But
Yeah.
you know, if I'm not there, then I'm not
So
too
was
worried.
this
Wow.
like a reservation ground that you weren't supposed to be
Good
on?
question.
So I looked into it later because I thought it was fine to fish it, but apparently it was a reservoir that's off limits to everyone. But I think these natives had permission to fish the reservoir, is what I believe happened.
Wow.
Could have been reserved
So I think
fishery.
next Googan Week, New Jersey. You guys.
Yeah.
down?
Let's
North
do
New
it.
Jersey?
Why not?
How was the fishing?
Oh, the fishing was
Epic.
insane
Yeah.
for bank
But
fishing.
you didn't sleep that night after the threat.
Oh no, I still slept.
Oh, okay.
I slept
just
fine.
not the
But,
Yeah.
First
but
place I
that was
think
actually
about
not the end of it, though.
for fishing.
Apparently, the story does not end quite there. A couple weeks later, Sky was fishing alone in a river in North Jersey, and a couple guys actually came up and confronted him and started wrestling him. And they actually took his GoPro and threw it in the river. And if Sky didn't manage to call the cops, he said he might have been even worse trouble.
So wrestling, as in you mean fighting?
Is this on YouTube?
Okay, fighting.
It's not on YouTube, but there are Instagram stories of the interactions that Sky had afterwards. It was, I mean, for him it was super scary and
Same guys, you think?
same. So these were actually different guys. So it was
So
a
why,
bit of.
I'm so
So-
confused what you all were
So
doing
don't
wrong.
fish
What were
in
you all-
Jersey is what you're telling
So
me.
North
Yeah.
Jersey, it would appear that guys who fish their spots seem to be
Anti-gun state,
very
by the way.
protective of their waters.
Huh.
I guess they perhaps feel entitled to fish these waters because they fished it their whole lives.
Well,
I've never encountered anything like it, honestly. In all the places I've fished ever, it is very, very unusual. And honestly, I'm probably gonna think twice if I fish in North Jersey again. At least get a permit to carry or something. I don't know.
Wow, Mike.
you had to carry that heat on you. You gotta
was
start
deep.
packing.
Gotta have the heater.
Yeah.
You got to check your local regulations and reservations,
That's true. That's true. Absolutely.
especially up north.
Hmm.
Well, that took an odd turn.
Yeah, that was a bit of an odd one, but you know, there we go.
Jesus Christ, yeah, that's been scary. We've all kind of told some pretty wild stories. You know, mostly revolved around accidents. I think now we want to dig a little bit deeper. You know, obviously throughout the years of Googan Squad, there's been some quarrels.
Squabbles.
There's been some scuffles. If you're good
Yeah.
friends with someone, if you're very close to someone, if you work with someone, you go through stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is like it's men, and that kind of stuff happens. And,
Just put this by me.
But the thing is John and Perrick, by far, have been in the most fights of anybody.
Orlando, how about that one?
Pretty much every
Or-
city we go to.
Orlando. I watched these two guys legitimately
We're on
fight,
World Star somewhere.
brawl.
Wow.
They're on World Star for sure. This was ICAST. We're talking ICAST. You're supposed to be cut and clean. We're like the new kids on the block. We had like 2 subs. We were getting tens and tens of views.
It's
We're
amazing
like-
we even made it this far.
I have no idea how we even got this far. They start legitimately fighting in the middle of the street in Orlando. This is the same time when this son of a bitch brought no one knows this. Remember when you brought that handle of a fireball to the Costa party and you dropped that son of a bitch in the middle of the floor and it breaks and everybody just turns around and you're just standing there.
That was my bad.
It just drops and goes, doosh. I don't even know how we got in there because we were nobodies.
Yeah.
Somehow we got into the Costa party. Oh my God. Yeah, no. John and Perrick had fought. Legitimately, legit fought.
Each
I
other?
took
So-
hits to
yeah.
the
Each other.
face.
I would say pretty much every Googan meetup with John and Perrick, there's some sort of scuffle that takes
I don't want to
place.
say it's a problem, but the thing is Perrick and I have so much history.
Yeah, way
so
prior.
within that, like the thing with Orlando's, there was a lot of tension before that, and you know what's so funny is like, I don't want to say this is the reason why, but there was a small disagreement, like a very small disagreement, but I think that small disagreement was just an excuse to beat the out of each other. And I threw him in some random person's minivan.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And once I did that, I got on, like, he got up and he started, like, I mean, my sinuses were the next day. He busted my nose up, and like, I said, I won't punch you because I'll lay you out. And I said, you can hit me. And I'm like, I bet you won't. And I like dodge, and I was pretty drunk, and he like kind of got one on me, and I was like, kind of hurt. I'm like, that really fucking hurt. And I took his phone, I threw it on the ground.
Yeah.
My phone!
I
just got that. And then he
I just got that phone yesterday.
it was like out of a movie. He says, my phone. He looks at me and he goes, "Hurt." Like,
Oh
he got
my
real, like
gosh,
a mad
like the little
toddler. And I was
brother.
like, oh, he's about to me up.
This is
Gonna
my
blow.
first time really hanging out with him, and I'm down at an ICAST, and these two son of a are brawling in the middle of the street. I was a grown man, and I was so confused in my life at that current state. I was like, holy shit. 2 years ago, I was fighting a war with some dudes, and now I'm sitting here with
Now you're
Perrick.
fighting a war with a couple of dudes.
in this in
different
this
scenario.
hotel room, and this little kid is just beating the shit out of this tall guy, and I don't know, I think, what is going on here? Like, I'm so confused. Like 10 minutes ago, they were lovey-dovey on me, but now they're beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah, no. The thing with Perrick and I is like we've always been cool. He's probably been my longest lasting friendship I've ever had. But
I miss it.
strings attached.
I miss those little quarrels.
There's
man.
little things we bring up. I like, you know, I remember it was one time with Wes during Never Stop. It was something that like, well, he couldn't keep track of his wallet or his keys, and I was just like, damn, I'm with this kid. I just want to film. And I said something like, really, I'm not gonna go into it, but I said something really snide to him. And he said, oh yeah, is that what you think about me? And he was, and I was like, yep. And he takes my hat, and he throws it in the water, and he says, you.
Oh
and
my
walks off the
gosh.
dock. You remember that? And I was just like, I was like, okay. And you and I were sitting. He's like, was looking for his wallet, and I opened up one of the compartments. I'm like, your wallet's right here. He's like, all right. Like that's just it. Like he can flip it on a dime. Like he's like, yeah, that's cool. Like the kid's, but I love him.
The only one we're missing, I was supposed to box Perrick a couple years ago. How would that have gone if
Oh,
the
wow.
boxing ring was open and
And very-
allowing of
You guys are
the
the same
fight?
size, yeah?
I
We're the same height.
It would be very enjoyable to watch.
You might have been
well,
all right.
That's why we wanted to do it.
Still
I mean-
out there.
I mean, it's still
out there.
Yeah, the challenge out there. I mean, it'd be hilarious. I think it'd be enjoyable to watch
I'd still be down.
Brackland and I also fight all the time.
all the time. Rackley. So
Brawl.
yeah, the thing is like I said, Rackley is the kind of guy that you guys think he's just like stay-at-home dad, like
It's a facade. I kinda am.
like no, it's fake. This
The
son
only,
of a
the
this,
only fight I've ever had within the squad was with our manager at the time, Matt.
that was yeah, you did. He
And
absolutely
I-
squished the shit out of you and broke your arm damn near.
Yeah.
What
I
was
mean,
that?
he's like a state.
Yeah, he's
qualified
strong as
wrestler.
he's a
Yeah.
little fucking bulldog. Don't mess with Matt Kendrick. He would beat your ass.
I tried to bow up on him and it didn't work.
Didn't work out at all.
So
No, Rackley by far has had some of the most hilarious moments because you look at him, you're like, this dude ain't about to do that, and you're like, holy shit, he went there. He's
Banana cream.
Vanna Cream nights. We can't.
I know that
I mean,
one.
that's a wild night. Wild night. I wish we still had that video. We could play that video of us playing the guitar. Like we used to. The thing is, I don't drink I haven't been drunk in over a year. I don't know if you guys know that.
we don't
I didn't
really
know that.
drink
We
that
don't.
much
Yeah, I
anymore.
don't drink very much anymore. Now we got. He's having kids. He's got multiple kids.
Oh, we all have
He's got
kids.
multiple kids. He needs to start getting after it. You know, everybody. I don't know.
Times
It's
have
different.
changed.
Like we were sitting in a meeting literally the other day, and they were talking about baby. Beforehand, be like, all right, when are we gonna get up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's getting the beer?
Yeah. Now who's getting the huggies?
Who's getting the huggies? What time you gotta be home?
No, the funniest was when we put the Smirnoff in your cake. It was your birthday. Remember that?
No, I remember this. Everybody
it was
getting
your
iced.
like 28th
Yeah, you get iced.
birthday.
Yeah, getting iced.
Yeah.
So if you guys know what iced, like everybody knows what iced is. You'd find a Smirnoff in a toilet.
No, yeah,
He
we
like-
we rancid with the. Those are good. I mean, that's that's the beauty of what we do and what we
Getting-
have been doing is like the foundation of Googan has always just been like being dumb, having fun, and then like we fish. Like that's weird.
We're literally
to think back.
real people, and then we fish.
Yeah,
And then we do
I mean, there's a lot of
Sometimes
things
fight,
we don't do
sometimes
right. But
cry.
the one thing that we do right is we're good friends and we're real. And I think this trip honestly helped us out a lot. I've not seen and got a chance to hang out with
Kinda like a
Mike,
reunion.
and I haven't seen Rob in quite some time, and Rackley, and all these boys here. It's been
awesome.
good, and I got finally a chance to meet Chris, and we're gonna go
Fun.
up some fish and have some
Absolutely,
fun.
yeah.
And
That's someday. Someday we'll be able to release some videos when we're all said and done.
There's a Netflix series out there. Let's just say.
Yeah.
There's a Netflix series waiting.
like
breaking
This is
Googan.
as crazy.
Years from now.
This is like the untold stories. This is the untold censored story. Like the G-rated.
tip of
This,
the
this,
iceberg.
this is not even the full blown. Wow.
I don't even know how much is.
I don't know. Yeah, it's all gonna make it because none of the stuff's really that bad. We haven't talked about anything really.
Yeah, I think it'll make
No.
it.
I mean,
It's
if you want to
very-
get
it's very
crazy,
real.
we don't need
It's
to do
what
that.
we've gone through. I mean, I'm not really the same now.
No,
I like drinking. It's a good,
dude, Louisiana. Oh my God.
Oh Jesus!
You
Really?
remember-
You want to go there?
Yeah, remember Louisiana?
No,
Flair
I
having the
remember
beer
it.
pulled on his head.
What's that?
The beer poured all over his head.
Who?
Flair.
Yeah, Parrot,
Oh
Parrot.
my God.
It was like 3 p.m. We didn't even get started yet. I mean, did we even film videos?
We
Like,
tried, but remember there was no audio on one segment of it. It was
Yeah.
blown out
We
like
filmed-
Cardi
we filmed
B.
one video,
Yeah, it was. We
yeah.
filmed one, and it's still on YouTube. I'm
So
sure.
it was a good video. I mean, what's crazy? Like, it actually worked out. So we planned this trip. We went to Louisiana, and I was like, Rob and Perrick and Flair was like, where should we stay? And like, I think this was kind of like maybe my trip
Yeah,
because I just got
it was.
back from Louisiana and it was fun. And I was like, let's stay on Bourbon Street. Terrible idea.
Horrible
Bourbon
idea.
Street is like
Oh my God.
so enticing as far as like where the point, like where we were at in our lives. Like we were just ready to get after it. So I think like 1 p.m. we went and got 40 ounces malt liquor, and then we went to Bourbon Street. And then by the time we got to Bourbon Street, or no, before we left to Bourbon Street, Perrick took one of his beers and walked up to Flair because he was in a different room and poured all over his head.
And Flair just stood there. Flair was pretty drunk at that time.
Flair was
though.
pretty drunk too.
He's just standing there taking
Yeah.
it. Like, what
I got the video somewhere.
Well, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we think we can be done with the end. Not so much uncensored, but untold.
Untold.
Untold stories.
Yeah. If you like it,
There's no way these some don't like it. That
comment
was
about
good.
it.
So anyway,
Uncensored's gonna be. That's gonna.
The uncensored
maybe
version
when
would
we are retired.
retired. We got to be done. Wes pretty much has to have like all of his kids done because he will be out without a job after that. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video over here on the old Googan channel and like these podcasts. I do love you guys as long as we all love you. So we're out of here.
Thank
See
you
ya.
for watching.
Hey!